Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Fahim bin Muhammad Khalid. So today we meet again, and I will talk about the methodology of sport training and coaching, specifically about power. So first of all, we will talk about the learning outcome. What we can get from this topic. First, we can understand the meaning of the power. We can understand the type of sport and drills that can improve power. And also, we try to apply and relate the principle of training toward power training. And also in this chapter, it can be as a guide during the training and for the trainer to train the client. Okay, so first we start, what is power training? Power training is ability to perform strength-based movement quickly. Power is an important component of fitness that is used in many dynamic sport activities. Okay, so power training is easy to understand by the formula power is equal to force times velocity. So we must improve the force and the velocity to get the maximum power. The higher force will get the higher power, or the higher velocity we can get the higher power. So power can be improved by increasing force or velocity, or using mix and match method to improve both force and velocity, so that we can improve the power. With power, we can increase our performance and help us to achieve our target. I think that's all from me. Enjoy this topic presentation by my group partner. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Manur Hazimah binti Muhammad Fauzi. My metric number is 2019529627. Today I will proceed to my slide, which is type of power training in sport. There are several type of power training in sport, which is the first one is plyometric. Plyometric drills require a fast, powerful movement using a pre-stretch or counter movement method that includes a stretch shortening duration. Plyometric is an effective method of strength training for many teams and individual sports. The second one is the strength ball training, also known as the medicine ball training. Is useful for professional athletes, weekend warriors, or older adults wanting to improve their strength. This type of strength training can be easily adapted to meet a variety of needs and goals. Strength balls come in various size and weight. How and when these exercises are used can vary greatly depending on your goals and abilities. For the third one is kettlebell training. There are advantages when it comes to swinging, movement, and stability work. This is due to the fact weight is below the handle instead of on the outside like on a dumbbell. There are two different forms of kettlebell, which is the first one, the cast iron classic kettlebells and competition kettlebells. The range form of kettlebell is 8 kg to 48 kg. For the fourth is isometric training. It was the most common form of strength training. It is an effective training method for gaining strength. Isometric exercise is a form of strength training in which the joint angle and muscle length do not change during contraction. These exercises usually involve a pushing and pulling action. For example, you push a fixed object such as a wall and bar or weight machine attached to the floor. For the fifth, suspension training. The main role of suspension training is the fact you can use your body weight in multiple angles and positions. This allows you to change in difficulty of exercises, for example, the press ups. Okay, for the last one of type of power training in sport, which is resistance band training. It is an effective complement or alternative to any strength and power training workout. They are especially popular among experienced lifters for targeting the lockout of lift, such as the squat or bench press. attaching resistance bands to the end of bars and anchoring them to the floor or bottom of the rack adds resistance at the top of the lift. This allows the lifter to have overload on certain lift and have a stronger lockup.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and my name is Muhammad Akmal, and now my turn. I will explain about power training drills. Okay, there's some of exercise or training that we can do for improve our power. So the first one I got for you guys is squat jump. The second one is clapping push-up. The third one is trap bar jump. And the last one, maybe you guys not familiar, is medicine ball throw. Okay, now we will go one by one. So I will explain to you guys. Okay, now we go to the first exercise is squat jump. Okay, basically I know you guys well known with squat jump, right? Because we are student of Faculty Science, Sport and Recreation. Okay, but now in my slide I have to share to you guys the tutorial squat jump. Okay, squat jump is the plyometric exercise. Okay, if you're ready for extra intensity, they can be also translated into forward bound when you leap and land on both feet at once. So if you do squat jump and you want more intensity, you can do box squat jump, which is you need to do squat jump and you land on the box. You put a box in front you, then you jump on it. Okay, if you want more intensity. So the step when you squat jump is stand with your feet shoulder width apart, sink down into a squat, and you should only do this exercise if you already have a good form, which is chest must goes up and out, hip hinge back, and knee stay over your toes. Now the second exercise that can improve our power is clapping push-up. Okay, for your information, clapping push-up is a favorite training for martial art, boxer and other fighter who need to generate explosive power to the front of the body. Obviously, they carry the at risk of a face plant if you are not enough. So when you do clapping push-up, you need to be fast because to avoid your face hit the land. Okay, for the tutorial, clapping push-up is assume a normal push-up position, balance on your palm and the ball of your feet. There's no knee down variation of this exercise. The second one, next, you squeeze your core muscle to keep your body straight as you bend your arm, sinking down into the push-up. Okay, the third one is as soon you hit the bottom of the movement, press explosively up and away from the ground. Your hand should lift the ground. And last step is clap your hand together under your chest, then bring your arm back to push-up position to catch yourself. Sinking back down to the starting position, begin the next repetition. So if you do this exercise, you must be fast. Fast. You need to be fast for avoid accident. Okay, next, the third one is medicine ball throw. Maybe some of you not familiar. It's okay, I will show the video to you guys what and how to do medicine ball throw. But now I need to explain or read the tutorial. Okay, for this exercise, you will need a medicine ball and a small trampoline. Trampoline is option. Okay, if don't have, it's okay. Set an angle along with a little trial and error to select the right trampoline angle and throwing distance. The first one is stand at least 5 or 6 from the trampoline, holding the medicine ball in both hands. Next is press the medicine ball straight overhead, then swing it down and release it so that it hit the trampoline. Depend on the trampoline angle, throw either for the dead center of the trampoline or just below the center. Okay, your goal is to have the ball bounce right back overhead when you throw it from. So catch the ball overhead and immediately turn that motion into another throw. Okay, it's okay. Later I will show the video. Okay, for the last one, the exercise that improve your superpower person. Okay, if you guys feel stronger than others, you can do this exercise to improve your power. Okay, the exercise we call it trap bar jump. Okay, trap bar jump is just a squat jump, but we need to hold a trap bar. Okay, trap bar is a different than a barbell. So later on I will show you guys a video to you guys more understand about what is trap bar jump, what is trap bar this and how it look, because the in slide got so much word. So I will show you guys a video and you can get know what is trap bar jump. Okay,
effective for power training. The first exercise on this list is the box jump. The box jump is the most simple and fundamental power exercise that athletes can perform. The box jump involves ballistic muscle actions and can be loaded by holding dumbbells or wearing a weighted vest. This can be great for younger and less experienced athletes who aren't strong enough to use heavy loads with power exercises. It is also great to implement with more experienced athletes to train the velocity side of the force-velocity spectrum. The next exercise on this list is medicine ball throws. Medicine ball throws are a ballistic exercise where the loading can be adjusted by using heavier or lighter balls. Medicine ball throws can be used to develop power in different planes and directions. This can be useful for athletes who can benefit from rotational power rather than only linear movements. The next exercise on this list is the squat jump. The squat jump is a slightly more advanced power exercise as it is more technical to perform than the previous two exercises. The athlete must be able to brace the trunk effectively and safely absorb force upon landing. However, if an athlete is able to perform the squat jump effectively, it can be extremely beneficial. The squat jump can be easily loaded with a range of different weights and is naturally ballistic in nature. The squat jump also involves high eccentric forces upon landing, which trains both concentric and eccentric rate of force development. And the last exercise for this video is the trap bar jump. The trap bar jump can be loaded with both heavy and light loads and is ballistic in nature. The trap bar jump is essentially the same as the squat jump, although it eliminates the eccentric loading. It involves almost pure concentric force output. This may be a good option for athletes who can't effectively land from the squat jump, and it can also be a good option for athletes who want to minimize eccentric loading. This could be if they have a match or competition upcoming that they want to be in fresh condition for.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ungku Nur Amirul Siddiq bin Ungku Muhammad Ali. I'm from NSR 1134. So today I will explaining about the principle of training related to power training. So in the slide I have put 4 principles of training that can be used, which is first the specificity, second overload, third the progression, and 4 reversibility. Okay, right now I will explain it about the overload principle. I know you guys must know it because you guys are an athlete and a sports science student. Okay, so right now I want to explain it back to you. So the overload principle is one of the 7 big law of fitness and training. Simply put it, it said that you have to increase the intensity, the duration, type or time of a workout progressively in order to see adaptation. You must remember the 4 items, which is intensity, duration, type or time. The adaptation are improvement in maybe your endurance, your strength or your muscle size. For example, you can practice the overload principle in your weight training. If your target to increase your muscle size or your strength in your upper body, you can do any exercise such as bench press, leg pull down, bend over row. Okay, so the tip is first week you must do the exercise in a light weight, and then the next week just add some weight, because at the first week your body has successfully adapt the weight and match, and then the next other week you just put it until you can lift the heaviest you can lift. Right now I have explained about the overload principle and the specificity. Okay, right now we'll explain about the third principle in my slide, which is progression. Progression of exercise state that a person should start slowly and increase exercise gradually. You should not rushing. You should not do exercise rushing. Means like first week you do a light weight, and then the next day you do the heaviest weight you can lift. So actually, using this progression principle, you cannot ego lifting or anything. You just train your muscle slowly but surely. Okay, the last principle of training that I have stated in my slide is the reversibility principle. Okay, reversibility principle states that athletes lose the effect of training after they stop working out. However, the detraining effects can be reversed when training is resumed. In short, detraining starts to occur with a relatively short time period after training ceases. Okay, so if you cannot skip your training in 72 to 69 hours. If you skip your training to that hour, you automatically your strength will decrease, your muscle size will decrease. So if you want to reverse the effect, you must resume your training back. Okay, for example, based on my experience, in PKP, during the PKP last year, I cannot do a weight training, and it have affect my muscle size and strength. And then after the gym can be open, I step to the gym, and then I try to lift 90 kilo bench press. I try, but I cannot because my strength have lost during that time because of the reversibility effect. Okay, I hope you can understand what I have explained about the principle. So let's go to the next slide. Okay guys, right now I will explain about the element of power training. What do you need in your power training? Okay, so I have put two in my slide, which is first the core strength and the joint strength. Okay, the core strength, the body core, referred as the torso, have all the movement of the body. So we have three core in our body. First is in our abdominal, in our lumbar, and in hip. So these three core help us to balance our body and to help us to lift heavy things. Okay. So a stronger core also improve a person's ability to balance. If you can, I give example. Do you have watched the strongman like Toby Johnson, Eddie Hall? Okay. You can see that they can lift deadlift. They can lift anything that above 200 kilo. Because of what? Okay. Because of their core is so strong. That's why we need to train our core so we can lift heavy without thinking the risk of the injury that we can get from the training. Okay, so I have explained about the core strength in power training. Right now I will explain the joint strength in power training. Okay, a large amount of power can be applied if the joints are strong enough to able to cope with it and transfer it. If a joint is too weak, then the power cannot be applied by through that joint is the necessary is so limited. So you need to strengthen your joint so you can lift heavily or you can do any power training. Okay, usually the power training using a dynamic movement which require the rapid application of force to an external object that the object and the obsession of impact force by the body. For example, a sprinter must have strong ankle joints in order for their foot to able apply leverage and transfer force to the ground. So as you can see, the sprinter athletes will train their ankle joint using exercise such as calf raise, the tibialis anterior exercise. That's the exercise that can improve our joint. So if you have a strong joint, it can avoid you from having a arthritis. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. I will explain about the processes in power training, physiological processes in power training. So I have put two physiological processes in power training, which is first, the deep breathing and intra-abdominal pressure. Second, the post-activation potentiation. First, I will explain about the deep breathing and intra-abdominal pressure. During exercise, a person breathes deeper in order to meet higher oxygen requirement. The adoption of deeper breathing pattern also serves a secondary function of the strengthening the core of the body. These strengthening effects occur because the thoracic diaphragm is our diaphragm adopts a lower position than it does than when at rest. This generates increased intra-abdominal pressure, which are to strengthen the lumbar spine. Is our lumbar spine at the butt. Okay. And the core of the body overall. For this reason, taking a deep breath or adopting a deeper breathing pattern is a fundamental requirement when lifting heavy weight. For example, okay, if you do the deadlift or anything compound exercise such as bench press, squat, deadlift, okay, as you can see, when you do a squat like this, okay, slowly you will take a deep breath like this, and then if you want to push the weight, you must slowly exhale. Okay, so I want to relate it. When you exhale, automatically you can lift the weight easily. If you hold your breath, it will affect your oxygen in our body, and it will affect your performance. Okay, so make sure breathing technique is important in the power training. Okay, I have explained about the deep breathing and intra-abdominal pressure. Right now, I will explain the post-activation potentiation with which PAP. Okay, so if you see the word PAP, bear in mind the word is post activation, potentiation. Okay. So this term actually used to describe the increased performance or power output after performing a strength exercise. During exercise, the nervous system become increasingly active and increased number of muscle fiber are recruited in order to aid the performance of the exercise. This effect is especially apparent during the lifting of heavy weight. Subsequently, to the performance of the exercise, the increased nervous system activation and recruitment muscle fiber continue for a period of time. This is referred to as PAP and may lead to increased ability to apply power. For example, if a light weight is lifted and then a heavy weight is lifted and the same light weight is lifted again, then the light weight will feel lighter the second time if it is lifted. This is due to the PAP effect. More powerfully, ultimately, is in a training regime is to condition to trainee to perform with a heightened nervous system activation. Okay, so I want to give a situation. Okay, for example, if you do the bicycle, the 5 kilo bicycle at the first time, you will feel heavy, and then suddenly the second set it will feel lighter than the first set. Because of what? Because of this PAP. I hope you can understand. If you have any question, you may ask us after you watching the video. Okay? Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syarul Azhar Hamdan. I'm gonna present about advantages and disadvantages of power training. So there are 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of this training. So first of all is for advantages, it help to build our muscle strength. For example, I took plyometric for this power training. Plyometric can improve the strength in both of our upper and lower body. Plyometric training example for the lower body includes tuck jump, squat jump, box jump and depth jump. It help us to get higher, utilizing our leg strength and to improve the height of our jump. For upper body, plyometric help to improve strength in our upper body, such as when we do clapping push-up. Okay, second, the advantages is it help to improve power with explosive movement, such as jumping or hitting a ball. Plyometric exercise require a lot of energy because they are highly intense. Repetitive landing causes our entire leg muscle to contract, which is it helping to improve overall tone and definition. And the last one is plyometric training were originally designed for power athlete like sprinter, football player and gymnast. One of the many advantages of plyometric training is decreases time between our eccentric and concentric contraction and improve our muscular speed and power. Okay, so for disadvantages, the first one, correct technique must be used during this power training. If we do it in wrong technique, it will lead us to muscle injury. For the second one is high risk of injury. To prevent it, we must allow adequate rest time of 48 to 72 hours between plyometric training session to help prevent injury. And the last one is muscle soreness, which is if you are untrained, risk of strain is elevated because the muscle surrounding your joints are weaker and may not give you the support you need, and it will lead to muscle soreness. So that's all.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Nakia binti Harun Nasir. So on this slide, I'm going to talk about the precautions of power training. So the first one is adequately warm up. Warm up is very important when you want to do any physical activity or exercises. By performing warm up first, it can lower the risk of injury. So don't forget to warm up before you do any activity. Okay, next is use the proper technique. The proper technique is essential. If you're not sure whether you do the exercise correctly or not, make sure to ask for help or guide from a registered physical fitness, a registered fitness professional or gym instructor or any exercise physiologist. Okay, don't be shy to ask. Next is it should be performed under supervision. Why? Because if there's someone nearby you, if anything happened to you during the session or during your training, that someone can help you immediately when the accident happen, if any accident happen to you. Okay, or for example, supervision by coaches allows them to have better understanding the individual needs and capabilities of their athletes. Next is don't hold your breath. Just breathe normally. For example, while lifting, just breathe, just exhale during the exertion or during the harder phase, and inhale during the easier or relaxation phase. Okay, just don't hold your breath. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Tak kena mic. Okay. So I want to conclude that power training typically involve exercise which apply the maximum amount of force as fast as possible on the basis that, which means strength plus speed will equal to power. Jumping with weight or throwing weights are two examples of power training exercise. I hope you guys can understand what my group have explained to you, and I hope if you have any question, you may ask us on Google Classroom. Okay, that's all. Have a nice day. Sayonara.